Welcome back to another episode of the English Hour. I'm your host, Sophia, and today we're diving into a long, relaxing conversation with our returning guest. Hi, Jacob.
Hey Sophia, always a pleasure to be here. I'm really looking forward to today's talk.
Same here, I was thinking. We don't need a strict topic today. Let's just chat like friends do about anything and everything. What do you say?
That sounds perfect. Sometimes the best conversations happen without a plan. So, where do we begin?
Let's start with something light. What's the most interesting thing you've done in the past week?
Interesting. I actually tried making homemade pasta for the first time.
No way, that sounds fun and a bit ambitious. How did it turn out?
Surprisingly good. It was a little thicker than what you'd get in a restaurant, but I kind of liked the rustic feel. Kneading the dough was tougher than I expected, though.
I believe that. Fresh pasta has that chewy, hearty texture. What kind of sauce did you make?
Just a simple garlic butter with a hint of lemon and fresh parsley. I wanted to keep it light and let the pasta shine.
Oh wow, that sounds delicious. You're making me hungry already. Do you cook often?
I try to cook at least a few times a week. I find it relaxing, almost meditative. Plus, it gives me a break from screens.
That's such a good habit. I've been thinking of doing more cooking too. Any tips for beginners like me?
Definitely, start simple, 3 or 4 ingredients at most. And don't be afraid to make mistakes. Some of my best dishes came from trying something weird and hoping for the best.
That's reassuring. I feel like the pressure to be perfect stops a lot of people from even trying. Okay. Switching gears, have you read anything interesting lately?
Actually, yes. I just finished a book called Digital Minimalism by Cal Newport. It's about reducing screen time and focusing on meaningful offline activities.
That sounds relevant. We're all glued to our phones these days. What was your biggest takeaway?
That we don't need to completely give up technology, but we should use it with intention, like asking, is this actually adding value to my life?
I love that. I've been trying to reduce doom scrolling myself. Sometimes I catch myself checking the same 3 apps in a loop.
Oh, I do that too. It's like muscle memory. But being aware of it is the first step. I started leaving my phone in another room while working.
Smart move. I should try that. Okay, I'm curious, if you could live anywhere in the world for a year, where would it be?
Ooh, tough one. Maybe Kyoto, Japan. The mix of tradition and modern life fascinates me. Plus, I love Japanese food.
Great choice. I've always wanted to see the cherry blossoms there. I'd pick New Zealand, those landscapes are just magical.
Totally agree. And the people there seem so laid back and friendly. It's on my travel list too.
Speaking of travel, what's your most memorable trip so far?
That would be a solo trip I took to Barcelona. I didn't know anyone, didn't speak much Spanish, but I wandered around, tried tapas, and met some amazing people.
That sounds dreamy. Solo travel is such a unique experience. It's like learning more about yourself, right?
Exactly. There's something empowering about navigating a new place alone. You become more observant, more adaptable.
I totally get that. I once spent 3 days alone in Prague and ended up writing pages in my journal. It was peaceful, almost therapeutic.
That's beautiful. I think everyone should travel solo at least once. It really builds confidence.
Absolutely. So tell me, Jacob, are you more of a morning person or a night owl?
Oh, total night owl. I do my best thinking around 11 p.m. How about you?
I'm the opposite. I love early mornings. When everything's quiet and the sun's just rising, it feels like a fresh start.
That's the dream, honestly. I've tried to be a morning person so many times, but my body just doesn't agree.
Fair enough. Everyone's rhythm is different. Okay, let's have some fun. What's a totally useless talent you have?
I can balance a spoon on my nose for over a minute. Not very useful, but it gets laughs.
That's a great party trick. Mine is being able to recognize a song within the first 2 seconds. Not always, but I'm pretty fast.
Impressive. You must be amazing at music quizzes.
I win every time. My friends don't even want to play with me anymore.
I'll have to challenge you someday. Maybe we should do a music quiz on the podcast.
Oh yes, that could be a fun segment. Okay. Switching back, do you keep a journal or do any kind of writing?
I actually do. Not daily, but a few times a week. Mostly reflections and little observations. It helps clear my head.
That's wonderful. I've kept journals since I was a teenager. Some entries are cringy, but they remind me how far I've come.
Exactly. It's like a time machine into your own thoughts. And it's also a great way to track personal growth.
Definitely. It really is like a time capsule of your own voice. Sometimes I read an old entry and laugh at what I used to worry about.
Same here, like stressing over a meeting or overthinking something someone said. And now, years later, it feels so small.
That's growth, isn't it? Seeing how we've evolved mentally, emotionally, even creatively.
Totally. Journaling helps you see patterns too, like habits you want to change or thoughts that keep repeating.
Speaking of habits, do you have any morning or evening routines that you stick to?
I try to keep it simple. Mornings, I drink a big glass of water, stretch a little, and journal for 5 minutes. Evenings are more relaxed reading or listening to calming music.
That sounds so peaceful. My mornings involve tea and a quiet moment on the balcony. Birds chirping, soft breeze, it sets the mood for the day.
That sounds perfect. It's those little rituals that really ground us.
I agree. By the way, have you ever tried meditation?
I have, but I'm not super consistent. I use a guided meditation app when I feel anxious or can't sleep.
That's a good approach. I tried it too and found that even 5 minutes can make a difference.
Yes, and the best part is, you don't need anything fancy, just a quiet spot and your breath.
Absolutely. I think we underestimate how powerful just breathing can be.
So true. And in today's fast-paced world, slowing down is an act of self-care.
It really is. Let's talk about something fun: movies. What's the last movie you watched that stayed with you?
That would be The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. Such a beautiful blend of fantasy, adventure, and inner transformation.
Oh, I love that one. The soundtrack, the visuals, and the message, it's all so inspiring.
Right? It made me want to pack my bags and go on a spontaneous journey.
I felt the same. That scene where he's skateboarding down the Icelandic road, pure magic.
Yes. And the idea of chasing something real instead of just dreaming, it really resonated.
Exactly. Okay, let's do a fun game. I'll say a word and you say the first thing that comes to your mind. Ready?
Born ready. Let's do it.
Ocean,
Freedom,
mountain,
strength,
coffee,
morning,
home,
comfort,
music,
escape,
future,
possibility,
love.
connection.
Beautiful answers, Jacob. That was deeper than I expected.
Ha, I guess I went a little poetic there. But it's fun to see where the mind goes instantly.
It really is. Okay. Another random question: if you could master any skill instantly, what would it be?
Playing the piano. I've always wanted to sit down and just play whatever I'm feeling.
That's such a beautiful skill. Music straight from the heart. I'd choose fluent multilingualism, just being able to speak to anyone, anywhere.
That's a great one. It opens up the whole world to you. You could connect on such a deep level with so many people.
Exactly. Okay, Jacob, let's get a bit philosophical. Do you believe everything happens for a reason?
Hmm. I think things happen, and we give them meaning. But I do believe that challenges shape us into who we're meant to be.
That's a very balanced view. I used to think everything was fate, but now I lean more towards choice mixed with chance.
I like that. Life's a blend of randomness and responsibility.
That should be a quote. Randomness and responsibility. You're on fire today.
Ha, I'll take it. Maybe I'll put that in my journal later.
Please do. Let's shift gears. Do you consider yourself more introverted or extroverted?
Definitely introverted. I enjoy socializing, but I need time alone to recharge. How about you?
I think I'm an ambivert. I love connecting with people, but I need solitude to refocus.
That's the best of both worlds. I think it's important to understand our energy and how we manage it.
Absolutely. So tell me, do you believe in luck?
Hmm. I think preparation meets opportunity. What some call luck is really just someone being ready when the moment comes.
I like that. It puts the power back in our hands.
Exactly. Though I do carry a lucky coin in my wallet just in case.
Really? That's adorable. Where did you get it?
It was a gift from my grandfather. He said it brought him luck for 40 years, so now it's my turn.
That's so sweet and meaningful. Now I want a lucky charm too.
I bet you already have one, you just haven't discovered it yet.
Maybe. Okay. Last spontaneous question for now. If your life were a book, what would the title be?
Maybe Wandering with Purpose.
Oh wow. That's poetic and mysterious. I love it.
Thanks, what about you?
I'd say, finding light in the quiet moments.
That's beautiful, Sophia. You should actually write that book someday.
Who knows? Maybe this podcast will be the first chapter.
Then let's keep writing it one conversation at a time.
Yes. Let's keep going. This is turning into such a heartfelt journey. Okay. Switching it up a bit. If you could live in any fictional universe, where would you go?
Oh, tough one. But I think I'd choose the world of Harry Potter. I mean, come on, who wouldn't want to go to Hogwarts?
Same here. I still wait for my acceptance letter. Maybe it got lost by all.
Haha, exactly. I'd be in Ravenclaw, I think. You?
I took the test Ravenclaw as well. No wonder we connect so well.
Look at us, two thoughtful Ravenclaws podcasting under the stars.
Sounds like a chapter title. Okay. Another fun one. What's a food you could eat every single day and never get tired of?
Easy past all forms. Spaghetti, lasagna, ravioli, I love it all.
Yum. I'm obsessed with sushi. I could eat salmon rolls every day without complaint.
Oh yes, sushi is like art you can eat. Do you like making it at home?
I've tried. Let's just say it tasted better than it looked.
Haha, that's a win in my book. I once tried to make homemade pizza and forgot the yeast. It came out like a cheesy rock.
Oh no, that sounds like a dental hazard.
I'm still recovering emotionally from the disappointment.
You're hilarious, Jacob. Okay. Switching lanes again. What's one piece of advice you'd give to your younger self?
I'd say, don't be in such a rush to have it all figured out. Life isn't a checklist, it's a story. Let it unfold.
That's beautiful. I think I'd tell little me, you're enough just as you are. You don't have to shrink to fit in.
Wow, that gave me chills. So many of us needed to hear that growing up.
Right? We spend so much time trying to meet others' expectations that we forget our own voices.
And it's that voice, our inner voice, that really guides us through everything.
Absolutely. Let's dive into that. How do you listen to your inner voice? What does that look like for you?
Great question. For me, it's silence. When I'm quiet, no distractions, no phone, I can hear what I truly feel or need. That's when the real answers come.
I feel that. I think mine speaks to me through a feeling, like a nudge or an emotion I can't ignore. It's subtle but powerful.
Yes, like an inner compass. It doesn't yell, it just gently points you in the right direction.
Exactly. And the more we trust it, the more confident we become in our decisions.
Totally. It's like developing a relationship with yourself, learning to trust, forgive, and be patient.
I love that. Okay, quick imagination game. Describe your perfect day from start to finish.
All right? I wake up with no alarm in a cozy cabin surrounded by mountains. It's chilly outside, but there's a fire crackling. I make a warm coffee, sit by the window with a book, and write a few thoughts in my journal. Then I go for a hike, soak in nature. Later, I cook something hearty, watch the stars, maybe play a little music. No rush, no noise, just presence.
Jacob, that sounds like a dream. I'm mentally packing my bags.
What about you? What's your perfect day?
Okay. I wake up to the sound of waves, sunlight streaming into a peaceful beachside room. Morning tea on a hammock with the ocean breeze. A long walk along the shore, barefoot. Then I spend time painting or writing, listening to soft music. Maybe some laughter with friends over dinner. And I fall asleep to the sound of waves again.
That's absolutely serene. It's like poetry in motion.
You too. I think both our perfect days have the theme of slowness and connection to nature, to self.
Yes, because in those moments, we're truly living, not just existing.
So true. Okay. Let's go deeper. What's something you wish more people understood about you?
That just because I'm quiet sometimes doesn't mean I'm distant or uninterested. I just process things inwardly.
I get that completely. As someone who often observes more than speaks in groups, People sometimes think I'm shy or aloof, but I'm just absorbing.
Exactly, there's so much happening behind the silence.
Yes. It's like quiet people are often filled with oceans of thoughts.
Well said. I think we all want to be seen beyond the surface.
Absolutely. Okay. Let's flip the question. What's something people often misunderstand about you that you've learned to accept?
That I'm always calm. People assume I don't struggle with anxiety or fear because I seem grounded. But I do, it's just that I've practiced hiding it.
Wow, that's powerful. Thank you for sharing that. I think many people feel pressure to appear okay, even when they're not.
It's part of our culture, I think. But the truth is, everyone's fighting some kind of battle.
Yes. And the more open we are about that, the more we make space for others to do the same.
Exactly, vulnerability breeds connection.
That should be a sign on every classroom and workplace wall.
Let's make it a movement.
Done. We'll call it Fae Real Talk Revolution.
I love it. And this podcast could be our headquarters.
It already is. We're just getting started.
Let's go with a mix, keep it deep, but throw in some light-hearted ones too. Balance is everything, right?
Exactly. All right. Here's a fun one. If you could instantly master any skill, like just snap your fingers and boom, you're a pro, what would it be?
Ooh, I think I'd choose playing the piano. I've always loved the sound of it. Imagine being able to sit at any piano and just flow like Beethoven.
That would be magical. I'd pay to see that. For me, I think I'd pick painting. Like, full on masterpiece level. I've always envied those who can translate emotion into art like that.
That's a beautiful one. Art says what words can't, right?
Exactly. Okay, here's a curveball. If your life were a movie, what would be the title?
Maybe Quiet Storm. It's calm on the outside, but there's so much going on underneath. Yours?
Wow, that title gave me chills. Mine would probably be Notes Between the Lines. I feel like most of my life has happened in moments people don't notice.
That's poetic. And so true. The best stories are often found in the unnoticed spaces.
Speaking of unnoticed spaces, do you believe in soulmates?
You're hitting all the good ones tonight. I do, but maybe not in the typical one person forever sense. I think we meet soulmates in different forms, friends, lovers, even strangers who cross our paths at just the right moment.
I love that perspective. I feel the same. Some people come into our lives to shift us, awaken us even if they're not meant to stay.
Yes, it's not always about duration, it's about impact.
Exactly. Have you ever had a moment with a stranger that you still think about?
Actually, yes. Once I was on a train and this older woman started chatting with me. We ended up talking the whole ride about life, grief, healing. She lost her son, and we both cried. I never saw her again, but that connection stuck with me.
Wow, that's powerful. It's amazing how real those one-time moments can feel.
Do you have one too?
Yeah. Once I was walking through a park, really down about something personal. A little girl walked up to me, handed me a flower, and said, "I think this is for you." Then she ran back to her mom. It was such a small gesture, but it felt like the universe was speaking.
That gave me goosebumps. It's like the world sends us messengers sometimes.
It really does. Okay, now let's swing the pendulum again. Ready for a classic icebreaker.
Bring it on.
If you were an animal, what would you be and why?
I'd probably be a wolf. Loyal, introspective, loves the quiet of the forest, but also thrives in community.
That fits you perfectly. I think I'd be a cat. Independent, a little mysterious, cozy in corners, but affectionate when I feel safe.
Oh yes, total cat energy. Do you knock things off tables just to assert dominance?
Only emotionally laughs.
Laugh savage, I love it.
Okay. Let's go into a deeper corner for a bit. What's a belief you used to hold that you've now let go of?
Good one. I used to believe that vulnerability was weakness. That if I showed too much of myself, people would leave or judge me. Now I know it's actually strength. It takes courage to be seen.
That hits home. I used to believe that I had to earn love by doing more, being more, pleasing everyone. Now I'm learning that I'm worthy of love just as I am.
That's such a hard lesson. But once we internalize it, life gets so much lighter.
Yes, like you can finally breathe.
Exactly. And once you stop chasing validation, you start building genuine connections.
Let's talk about that. What does a genuine connection feel like to you?
It feels like ease, no performance, just presence. Like you don't have to shrink or exaggerate, you can just be.
I love that. For me, it feels like being truly heard. When someone listens not to reply, but to understand.
Yes, that's so rare but so powerful. Being heard is a form of being loved.
Amen to that. Okay, another switch up. If you could time travel to any era, where would you go?
Part of me wants to say the 1960s, so much art, music, and social change. I'd love to be part of those conversations.
That's a great choice. I'd be curious to visit the future. Maybe 100 years from now. Just to see what became of all our current struggles and dreams.
Brave, I think I'd be nervous to see how things turn out, but maybe also inspired.
Yeah, it's like looking at a seed and wondering what kind of forest it will become.
Beautifully said as always.
Okay, Jacob, next question. What's something about the world that fills you with hope?
The resilience of people. No matter what happens, wars, loss, pain, there's always someone out there still creating, still loving, still trying to make things better.
That gave me a lump in my throat. It's so true. For me, it's children. Their laughter, their imagination, their honesty. It reminds me that the world still has magic.
Yes, kids haven't forgotten how to see wonder in the little things.
Exactly. That's why I love talking to them. They remind us of what we once knew, before the world got too loud.
Maybe that's part of growing up, remembering what we used to believe and learning how to believe it again.
I couldn't agree more.
Let's keep going with a blend, some deep thoughts, but maybe toss in a few imaginative what if scenarios too, just to stretch the brain a little.
I love it. Okay, here's one. What if you woke up tomorrow, and the entire world had forgotten who you are, friends, family, even your digital footprint gone? But you remember everything. What would you do?
Whoa, that's a good one. I think the first few days would be terrifying, honestly. But after the panic settled, maybe I'd see it as a clean slate. I'd probably start writing again, documenting everything I remember, and then slowly rebuild my life, but this time with more intention.
That's deep. It's like the universe handing you a reset button, but you've still got all your experience. Kind of empowering, in a strange way.
Exactly. Like losing everything could also mean gaining a new kind of freedom. What about you?
I think I'd go into observation mode for a while. Watch people, see how they interact without the context of meh around. Then I'd probably reinvent myself a little, maybe try things I was too scared to try before. New name, new city, new story.
That's bold. I like it. It's like becoming the author of your own novel instead of just a character in someone else's.
Exactly. Alright, next. What if? What if animals could talk and one species became fluent in human language overnight? Which animal would you want it to be?
Oh, wow. I think I'd go with elephants. They're so wise and emotional. I feel like they'd have the most poetic things to say about the world.
Yes, elephant poetry would be incredible. I'd pick cats. I just really want to know what's going on in their minds when they stare at us like we're complete fools.
Laughs, they definitely know something we don't. Maybe they're silently judging our life choices.
For sure. Or secretly plotting world domination. Either way, I'd love to hear the sass.
Speaking of secret plots, imagine if dreams were actually another life we live in parallel. Like every time we sleep, we shift into another version of ourselves. Do you think we'd ever want to stay in the dream world instead?
That's a wild thought. If that dream life were more exciting or fulfilling, I think some people would be tempted to stay. But I also think the physical world has something dreams can't replicate: real touch, real risk, real consequences.
Yeah, dreams can feel vivid, but there's no permanence, no true growth. Maybe dreams are practice rounds for our waking life.
I love that idea. Like simulations where we experiment, learn, and then apply what we can when we're awake.
Exactly. Okay, your turn. Hit me with a curveball.
All right. If you were suddenly made the leader of the entire world for 24 hours, and every decision you made had to be followed globally, what's the first thing you'd do?
Oh man, that's heavy. I think I'd start by declaring a universal empathy day. No violence, no transactions, just people listening to each other's stories, face to face with no distractions. Like an entire planet of humans just hearing each other.
That's powerful. I think that might change everything. If we could really understand each other's pain and joy, maybe we'd treat each other differently.
That's the hope. What about you?
I think I'd cancel all debts. Student loans, medical bills, predatory interest gone. Wipe the slate clean for people to breathe and start over. I feel like so much pain comes from financial chains.
Yes, freedom from fear and scarcity that could unlock so much untapped creativity and kindness in people.
That's the dream. Okay, let's go even deeper. What do you think is humanity's greatest blind spot right now?
I think it's disconnection. We have more tools than ever to connect, but we're lonelier than ever. We've mistaken communication for connection.
That's such a good point. We're always talking, texting, scrolling, but rarely being with each other.
Exactly. It's like we've forgotten how to sit in silence, how to really see someone without distraction.
I think our blind spot is thinking we're separate from nature. We act like we're above it, but we are nature. When the planet suffers, so do we.
Absolutely. We've built cities to protect us from the wild, but in the process, we've lost touch with our own roots.
You ever feel like the Earth is trying to get our attention through storms, climate shifts, species loss?
Yeah, it's like a cry for balance. And it's up to us to listen before it's too late.
Here's a thought: what if the Earth had a voice, and it could speak to us once a year? What do you think it would say?
Please slow down. Maybe even just remember me. I think it would ask for care, not out of fear, but love.
That gave me chills. I think it would also say, I've given you everything. What will you give back?
Man, that's deep and true. We take so much, often without gratitude.
Gratitude changes everything. Even just noticing the sky, or feeling the wind, it reconnects us.
Yeah, maybe the real path to peace is through presence.
I couldn't agree more.
Let's dive into childhood memories. That's always such a rich and emotional space. It's amazing how those early moments shape us.
Yes, absolutely. Sometimes I think the smallest memories stick with us the longest, like the smell of a certain food, or the way sunlight came through a window.
Totally. For me, it's the sound of my grandmother humming in the kitchen while she cooked. That melody still calms me, even though I haven't heard it in years.
That's beautiful. For me, it's the feel of rain hitting the rooftop while I was wrapped in a blanket reading books. It felt like the world paused just for me.
That's such a safe, cozy picture. I think those memories are like anchors. No matter how chaotic life gets, they remind us who we are underneath it all.
Exactly. And sometimes, those childhood moments hold the most authentic versions of us, before we learned to hide, before we cared what others thought.
Yes, it's wild how children are just themselves. Unfiltered, unapologetic, curious.
Do you remember a time you did something totally fearless as a kid?
Oh yeah, I once tried to fly off the garage roof with a sheet tied around my shoulders like a cape. I fully believed I'd take off like Superman.
Laughs, that's such classic kid logic. What happened?
I landed in a bush, scratched up my arms pretty badly, but I remember being more embarrassed than hurt, because the neighbor saw it and laughed.
Oh. That embarrassment feels huge when you're a kid, doesn't it? Like your whole world just crumbles because someone giggled.
Totally. But now I laugh at it too. What about you? What's your wild childhood moment?
I once got in trouble for sneaking out of the house, just to go sit in a field and watch the stars. I told my mom I needed to hear what the sky was saying.
That's actually poetic. How old were you?
Maybe 8. I was a strange, dreamy kid. I thought the stars had secrets, and if I sat quietly enough, they'd whisper them to me.
Honestly, I love that. Kids are little philosophers. We forget that as adults.
Completely agree. Sometimes, I think we don't grow up, we just get better at pretending we're not curious anymore.
And that pretending makes life feel dull. The best adults are the ones who remember how to play.
Yes, play is powerful. It's how we explore, create, connect. Even in conversations like this, it's a form of play.
Exactly. That makes me wonder, When was the last time you really laughed until you couldn't breathe?
Oh wow. It was during a board game night with friends. Someone made up the most ridiculous rule, and we all just spiraled into chaos. I was crying from laughter.
That's the best kind of therapy. No pills, no fees, just real, joyful connection.
100%. I think laughter heals places that even words can't reach.
Definitely. Laughter and music for me. There's something about a song from childhood that instantly rewinds time.
Oh, now that's a great topic, music memories. What's a song that brings you right back to a moment in your childhood?
Bohemian Rhapsody. My dad used to blast Queen during road trips. We'd all sing along like it was a family anthem. I still know every word.
I love that. For me, it's My Heart Will Go On. Not because of Titanic, but because I used to sing it dramatically into a hairbrush, like I was performing for the world.
Laughs I can totally picture, little you doing, that probably with all the emotion in the world.
Oh, I was very serious about it. Even added fake tears for drama.
That's so good. Childhood is such a theatrical time. We don't even realize how much we express ourselves until someone tells us to tone it down.
Right? It's like we go from express everything to control everything without even realizing the shift.
And then we spend our adult lives trying to remember how to feel things fully again.
Exactly. Maybe that's the real journey, not growing up, but ungrowing the layers we put on to survive.
Wow, that's powerful. Like peeling back the armor we built over the years.
Yes. And maybe conversations like this are a part of that process. Just showing up honestly, without pretense.
I think that's why I love long conversations. They give you time to take off the mask slowly, layer by layer.
Yes. No pressure to perform, just space to be.
We need more of that in the world. Less performing, more being.
You just sparked a question. When do you feel most like yourself?
Great question. Probably when I'm walking alone in nature. No phone, no agenda. Just wind, trees, and the sound of my own breath. It's like I meet myself again.
That's so relatable. For me, it's when I'm journaling by candlelight, late at night. That's when my truest thoughts come out, no filters, no edits.
It's beautiful how those quiet moments reveal the loudest truths, isn't it?
It really is. Almost like the soul only speaks when the world goes quiet.
I'm going to write that down. That's a line worth remembering.
Let's mix in some spontaneous storytelling. Now just let our imagination go wild and see where it takes us.
I'm all in. Let's say we both wake up one morning in a completely different world, still ourselves, but the world around us has changed. Everything runs on music instead of electricity. What do you do first?
Whoa, okay. I'd probably try singing to turn on my coffee machine. Like, maybe a jazz tune to heat the water, and a little beatbox rhythm to grind the beans.
That sounds like a musical kitchen. I feel like I'd be experimenting all day, wondering if different genres give different effects. Like, maybe heavy metal charges your phone faster, but classical gives it more battery life.
I love that. And imagine public transportation. Trains only move if enough people harmonize. Everyone in the station just humming together to get to work.
That's actually kind of beautiful. Forced community through rhythm. No silent commutes anymore, just human soundscapes.
Yes. And I wonder what hospitals would be like. Maybe healing happens through lullabies. Nurses and doctors composing songs based on your mood or condition.
Oh wow. That's next level. You walk in feeling broken and walk out with a melody stitched into your bones.
I'd cry just from the beauty of it. Music is already so healing, it would make perfect sense in that world.
Okay, what about schools? Do kids learn algebra through rap battles? History through epic ballads?
Absolutely. Imagine kids remembering historical events because the songs are so catchy, like the Battle of Hastings, turned into a folk pop earworm.
And gym class would be a full-on dance party. No sit-ups, just synchronized moves to fast beats. Everyone sweating and laughing.
Honestly, I want to live in this world now.
Same. It sounds chaotic but joyful. A place where expression is the fuel for everything.
And maybe sadness still has its place, like rainy days are powered by blues music. The sky listens to melancholy songs and responds with soft drizzles.
That's so poetic. And I bet people would be more in tune with their emotions, since you literally have to express to function.
Yes, no more hiding. If you're angry, your rhythm changes. If you're peaceful, the environment adjusts to your vibe.
And I wonder, would silence be the new danger? Like, if everything stops and there's no music, something's really wrong.
Ooh, that's a twist. Silence becomes suspense. People would stop and say, wait, why isn't the wind humming? Where's the morning tune?
Maybe that's when everyone gathers to create a new melody, a way of bringing harmony back, literally.
This might be one of the coolest imaginary worlds we've created so far.
For real, we should write a story about it. A full-on novel or even a musical series.
I'm down. We could call it The Sound of the World or something equally mysterious.
Love it. Let's jump to another what if. How about this? What if humans had visible thought bubbles above their heads like comic books, but only when we're feeling intense emotions?
Oh wow. That would change everything. You couldn't fake it anymore. If you're angry, your thought bubble might literally show fire or storm clouds.
Right? And if you have a crush on someone, it'd be floating hearts or maybe a cheesy poem forming above your head.
Imagine job interviews. The employer asks, why do you want this job? And your thought bubble shows, honestly, I just need to pay rent.
Laughs brutal honesty, whether you like it or not. But maybe it would make the world more authentic. Less guessing games.
True. You'd know when someone's sad even if they say, I'm fine. The bubble would show rain or broken glass or a lost memory.
It could be really beautiful too, like shared thoughts, forming constellations above two people in deep conversation.
That gave me goosebumps. Just imagine lovers sitting under the stars, and their thought bubbles create a story that floats between them.
That's art. That's humanity in visual poetry.
But you know what would be awkward? Group chats in real life. Like 5 people in a room, and their bubbles all reveal they're bored or want to leave.
That would end small talk real quick. Only meaningful conversations survive.
Which might not be a bad thing. Imagine how much time we'd save if everyone just said what they meant.
It would take some adjustment, but maybe the world would be kinder in the long run. No more hiding pain. Just mutual understanding.
Yeah. Even strangers might stop to help more often if they saw someone's bubble showing a lonely childhood memory or recent heartbreak.
You're right. Maybe empathy would become our new superpower.
And that brings me to another thought. If you could choose one human emotion to amplify across the world, what would it be?
I think I'd amplify awe. That feeling when you witness something bigger than yourself, like the ocean, or space, or a newborn baby.
That's a powerful choice. Awe softens the ego. Reminds us we're just part of something immense and beautiful.
Exactly. If more people walked around in awe, maybe we'd be more grateful, more gentle.
I think I'd amplify tenderness. That quiet, slow affection. Not loud love, but the kind that stays through storms.
That kind of love is rare. And I think it's what the world is most hungry for.
It really is. Tenderness doesn't rush, doesn't demand. It just holds space.
What a gift that is to hold space for someone without trying to fix them.
Yes. Just being a witness to someone's journey. That might be one of the purest forms of love.
Agreed. I think that's what conversations like this do. We're not rushing toward answers, we're just exploring together.
This has been one of the most soulful, creative, and truly heart-opening conversations we've had. Jacob, thank you for diving so deep and sharing your thoughts so freely.
Thank you, Sophia. These hours flew by, and I think we both walked away with a few new worlds in our minds.
That's the magic of the English Hour, exploring language, life, and imagination together. If you've been listening all this time, we hope it brought you clarity, comfort, or maybe even a smile.
And if it did, don't forget to share, and subscribe to the channel. That way, you can join us again for more long-form stories and thoughtful conversations.
Until next time, keep learning, keep dreaming, and remember you're never alone in your thoughts. Because we're right here with you.
Take care, everyone.
Bye for now.